Hey, hi, it's Sherri Richards with Good Fat Life and Inspired Good Fat Life, and we have a new show today, and we're really excited about it, and a new year, and I kind of have I'm on my own now, and so Karen Ifa, we want to say goodbye to Karen, and she's gone off to do some other things that are really exciting for her, and we wish her well and are so grateful to her for actually getting us doing podcasting. I wouldn't have done it on my own, and I'm just really grateful to Karen for getting us going. So just a little reminder, this is Good Fat Life, and we have a magazine and lots of great articles. And one of the things that we're really excited about is one of the things of Good Fat Life is money, right? People just don't like to talk about their money. There's all kinds of shame and things that go around it, but it doesn't have to be that way. And I'm so excited to introduce Don Clark, our guest today. And Don is going to be working with me on the magazine and helping people have great experiences with their money.
Great experiences, great planning for their financial future.
For financial freedom. And Don is with Modern Woodmen. And did I get that right?
You got that right.
Right. And we're so excited to have her today. And so, Don, just, tell us a little bit about, what you love most about working with people in their finance, and then we can talk about the company that you work with.
Sure. Well, first, thank you for having me here today. I love the company that gives back to community.
Okay.
I love to give back to people. I usually joke around with husbands and wives that I always wanted my husband to have a 6+ figure job so I could just go volunteer and do whatever I wanted to help people out in the community. Well, this company, because of a friend of mine, kind of fell in my lap, and they love to help the community. So I get to help people form like a financial freedom, and then help the community that they live, work, and play in. So that's like my favorite thing. There's several days that over COVID that we just went out and thanked people for helping out during the pandemic. And that was all we did. Wanted nothing from them, just let them know that they're appreciated.
And so tell me a little bit more about that. So did you, you just knocked on their door, a business door, and said, hey, thank you? Or?
Yes. So the minute I was driving around, Modern Woodmen made a sign that says, we love essential workers. And driving around, I noticed all the hospitals and medical facilities had signs like that from other people in front of them. So I kind of thought out of the box a little bit, going, who else has worked just as hard, but not being recognized? And it was the police and fire departments.
Okay.
So I went around Livingston County and just knocked on the front door, so to speak, and said, hey, we really appreciate everything you do. Do you mind if we put a sign out front, or can you place a sign so when your personnel come in and out, they know that we really appreciate them? And all of them allowed it. Kind of shocked that I didn't want anything from them. I just wanted to say thank you. And it was the best, just to be able to say thank you.
So, that's lovely. So tell me about Modern Woodmen. Is it, financial company? I mean, how would you describe it?
Yes. So Modern Woodmen is a non-for-profit fraternal financial organization.
And it's been around forever, hasn't it?
It's been around we just had our 139th birthday in January. So, yes, very excited to be part of an organization that's been around for so long and really sticking to the founder's roots and that was his primary goal of wanting to help widows and children and to carry that on into the community.
Okay, so widows and children to be financially stable?
To be financially stable, one thing was, back in the 1800s, the men's jobs were not as safe as they are today. So if women and children were left without their husbands, the women weren't as working as much either because they were home on the farm or taking care of the kids. So a big piece that he thought of was the life insurance piece.
Okay, so that's kind of where it started?
That's how it started.
Okay. With life insurance.
Yes, with life insurance. So we started strictly as a life insurance company, and we have grown to be full service.
And you're like one of the biggest financial service companies in the country,
a fraternal company.
So tell me what fraternal means. Why is that important? Because I know it is. So tell me why it's important.
So important.
It's not a twin.
It's not a twin. No. That'd be nice sometimes we could clone ourselves, though. But fraternal means we just give back. It's kind of, we give back to communities, we give back to individuals. We do matching funds, we do community service, we do education. My assistant and I, Rose, we did an education with a group of kids from Detroit, just teaching them about financial planning and how to plan for their financial future. Okay. And it was amazing to see these kids. Our program is called Money Masters, and it's 100% free to the individuals that we're teaching.
And how old are they?
The kids that we taught were 18 to 23.
Okay.
And just to teach them the basics about what does your credit score mean? If it does take a hit, how do you get that back? How do you keep it up? How do you budget based on income and expenses, and what are areas you can cut back on? It was everything as far as planning for the start of their financial future. These kids were graduating and then moving out into the working world, so they had to know how to do all of that. So we came in with our program, with our workshop. We spent 6 hours with them all together. We came out different days and taught them all the different areas. And we got a letter from one of the gentlemen that said, I already saved $250. So,
well, there you go.
Totally amazing.
So they were excited to hear that?
They were. They were very, they participated.
Okay.
It wasn't just me up there talking, which was a great thing. It was so much participation back and forth, very intelligent, smart questions.
And so they wanted to know.
They wanted to know.
Well, that's
wonderful.
So what do you see? We always, like I said, money at the top of the show is like money. People have so much shame and guilt and, I don't know, negativity around money.
They do. And a lot of research has found that it kind of comes from the Depression. So my grandparents didn't talk about money. So then they taught my dad, they don't talk about money. So then we don't talk about money. I talk about money a lot now.
Yeah, right, right.
But that's where that started from, is people, if they had money during the Depression, they wanted nobody to know. If they didn't have money, they didn't want anybody to know. So that's kind of where that started. So our goal is to get people to open up, to build a trusting relationship with them, so they can, so we allow us to help them either maintain where they're at, if they're happy where they're at, or help them grow, or help them, like we did with those kids, just get a fresh start. So we really pride ourselves on the trust aspect of teaching them.
So if you hear, I know one of the things that people hear all the time is like, I have to have a lot of money to get started. And
yes.
So what's some examples? Give us some examples that you've seen of people.
Don't need a lot of money. You really just need to know how to manage the money. You need to know, just like in business, we plan for our goals for the year. I'm sure Good Fat Life has goals for the year.
Sure.
Individuals need to have that. It doesn't matter how much you have. I have seen people who don't like to spend money because they want to always have money. And then people that do have money spend way too much money. So I've seen both aspects. So our job is to help them realize what their goals are, lay that out for them, and how they can get there.
So if somebody is going to, so what would be the, I guess, least amount of money that you could say somebody could get started with?
A simple IRA is only $25 a month.
Okay.
So we don't need a lot to get started. And if someone is super young, say it's a college student who just says, hey, I want to get started, $25 a month, if you multiply that by working 30 years, every single month, I mean, think of what that nest egg will grow.
Right.
Just with that small investment.
And what about somebody who's 55 and they really don't have a retirement? Because there's lots of people in that boat too, right?
Yes. One of my first clients, and I love them dearly, met with me, and they were about 55 at the time and didn't have retirement set up. So Modern Woodmen, being our non-for-profit piece, that fraternal piece, we don't have advisory fees. So I was able to meet with them. I think at first it was like twice a week, and then we went down to once a week and once a month, and now I think it's once a quarter. We get together just to get them started, to realize where they needed to be, and some simple things that they could do to help get where they wanted to be by retirement. We never charge them anything. We don't have those advisory fees. So,
which is what makes you different
us a lot different
from some of the other financial
correct
investors.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so then what happens? So is there fun growing? Are they?
They're growing. Yes. They're doing amazing.
So, well, one of the things I taught, because I do a lot with money, companies and money. I'm a CFO by trade.
Right.
And we would say, just, take $5 and put it in another bank, put it in another fund,
Right.
put it in a savings. And every time you drive by, you're going to feel good because you're doing something proactive for yourself.
Right.
And it's that tiny little thing, but it grows.
It grows. We like people to pay themselves 10% with every paycheck, whether you're weekly, biweekly, monthly, and let us help you decide where to put that 10%. Do you have your emergency fund set up? Do you have young kids? You want us to do some college savings? Are you planning on having a cottage at retirement? So you need to start saving for that. Whatever your goal is, let us help put that 10% to good use for you.
Okay, and if you don't have 10%, you start with 1%.
Exactly.
Right? You start
Exactly.
where you are, right?
Exactly.
I always say, start where we are, and that's okay. And that's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes such a difference. I hear people all the time say, I was so scared, but once I did it, I just feel empowered. I sleep well at night. And
Yes.
even with that 1%, I sleep well at night because I'm doing something.
Correct. You're moving forward.
Right.
None of us like to go backwards or stand still. We're meant to move forward. So with 1%, that's a step forward.
Right, right. So can you tell me a little bit more about, I don't know, some success stories or some, or tell me about the company. The company, I've never heard of Modern Woodmen.
Yes. So we're Modern Woodmen of America. We were founded in 1883 by Joseph Cullen Root. Again, trying to protect the widows and orphans in the 1800s. That was really what his goal was. Very brilliant man, but we slowly over the years have added all of our services. So we offer everything from protection, savings, retirement planning, distribution. We help with estate planning, business planning, and employee benefits.
Okay.
So we can cover all of those areas. Again, we're a non-for-profit, which means we're fraternal, and we love to give back to the community. We've given back to Work Skills. I know they've been on some podcasts here before.
Right.
La Casa and a bunch of other organizations from the Livingston County area. In 2020, which was that COVID year, we still gave about $14 million
Wow.
out to communities across the U.S.
Okay.
We have about 750,000 members nationwide, and we'll be giving more this year because we can actually, get together now.
Right. So if somebody wanted to talk to you about giving to the community, do they need to be a member of?
No.
Okay.
No, they don't. No, we just kind of find something that someone's helping the community.
Okay.
Work Skills and La Casa are helping huge out in the community, but it's completely different areas. So it's fun to help them just to see see that money grow within the community and all the people they help. With Work Skills building that new home, that was just like I think I cried when I got to go see the final project. And then to know La Casa is helping all of the women and children out there.
Right. They do amazing work.
They do amazing work. I've never been in that situation. Very thankful for that. But my daughter was heading down that road. And if she had gone that path, I'm very thankful La Casa is a type of organization that would have been there for her. So I can feel the pain of the women that are in there, kind of empathize with them. So they're fabulous. So we love to work with them.
Wow. So if somebody wanted to work with you, how would they go about it?
Well, we just opened our office in Brighton.
That's right. You're just down the street.
Just down the street from the
like
speakeasy
2 doors.
here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Neighbors.
Or the blue building that was green. We have our own number. I don't even remember what number was. Phone number.
We'll put it up.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's a nice thing about being able to edit, right? They can add that, right?
They can add that right in there. We're right in Brighton. We do have websites. Modern Woodmen has a website, then I have my own kind of inside of there where they can read more about the company. They can read more about me. I actually put some of my family info on there.
Okay.
So, yes. So
And so so walk me through what an appointment would look like.
We first start out telling you all about Modern Woodmen, what we do as an organization, kind of how we got started. We had the discussion, and then we go through all the different areas that we can help in.
Okay, and they're different financial areas.
The different areas, correct. And then we actually sit with you and figure out what some of your needs, wants, and desires are. We really ask you questions, and we want to hear and take in what your answers are. That gives us the best knowledge on how to help you, and then how to guide you. We even do smart plans for you. I had one gentleman that walked in and said, "Here's my information. Just help me."
Just help me.
Just help me. But he's, again, he still had to sit through the Modern Woodmen, not sit, but I wanted to show him who we were first.
Right.
Because that's really the base. And then showing him where we could help in and kind of how we do things.
And then there's no fee for that.
No fee for that.
So,
No.
I mean, that's great.
Yes.
That's great. And just knowing you, I mean, you're such a nice, kind, non-judgmental person.
Oh, thank you.
So, no, but I think it makes a huge difference when people are feeling uncomfortable or just not sure. And,
right.
And money can be so scary.
We've all had ups and downs with money. I mean, look at the economy going up and down. That's never been consistent. So our pays and all that kind of go in tandem with the economy. So we've all had good times. We've all had times that we may not be so proud of.
You're just glad to get through.
Just glad to get through, right?
It's like, right, yeah.
So I am definitely not one to judge anybody. Everybody goes through stuff, whether it's good or bad or in between. So I like to help anyone that comes through the door.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I remember we have some funny stories about, when kind of the money ran out for the month when the kids were little, and those meals of like, oh, let's see, meal surprise.
How does popcorn sound?
Exactly. So no, I think it's a wonderful thing that you're doing and service that you provide, and I'm really excited about working together. And because my goal is that everybody's financially free, or actually that people are our best self, that we all are our best selves. At Good Fat Life, that's our whole mission.
Right.
Is providing the opportunity to be our best selves, and one of them, in addition to eating good fat, right?
Right.
You have to eat good fat.
You do.
Is just being financially sound.
Correct. You sleep better at night. Relationships are generally better when you're just kind of maintaining or growing.
Right. That's good. And and having healthy conversations about money. I'm sure that you address that a lot.
Yes.
And I know, I know for lots of relationships that, that's the number one reason to get divorced is
right.
It starts with money, right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So it makes a big difference. And I just love that you do it from a holistic,
that's exactly what we do. We
right?
love using that word, that we take a holistic approach to your finances.
And then you give it back to the community, which is very cool. Because I know you just light up every time you talk about the community stuff. And it's a big deal because
it is.
It's kind of, I was talking to a colleague today, and we can go through anything when we know somebody's got our back.
Correct.
Or you're going through it together. I mean, even looking at COVID, right?
Right.
We're kind of all in this together, and so it makes it bearable.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
It's not. It's just, I don't know, make what makes life good.
Right.
At the end of the day, I'm doing this thing. It's called Thriving Operating Systems, and we have to notice 30 things a day that are special, and really be fully present with it. And it's been a fascinating process, and I'm only like 5 days into it, right? But it's so interesting when you stop and see those little things that make our eyes light up or just go, and it's almost always, it involves another person or an animal or a flower or something, but paying attention to all that support that's around us.
Yes.
We don't have flowers outside much right now, but
No, we don't.
it's a little, but still, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's
No,
just that appreciating that there's all this stuff around, all these things, this beauty, this community around, helping us.
Right. And that's exactly it. We like to be the support that people would need for their finances. Some people want accountability, and we offer that. But we're there as the
That
support.
accountability is a big one.
It is huge.
Just checking in. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just checking in.
Especially when it comes to savings, that's the biggest part is people need to be accountable for what they're saving. I mean, all of us do.
Right.
Like you get extra, even $20. You're like, what could I go get? Or should I put that in savings? I really,
Right.
So,
But I've watched this hundreds of times myself. Is it just when you get in that mode of putting money in savings, that can be the rush versus a new sweater or whatever.
Correct.
Right. That can be looking at that. It's like, oh my gosh, look at that.
Exactly.
You were saying, the student who's got $250.
Yeah,
right?
$25 a month, right?
Yeah, that's
So
a big deal.
it is. And if we forget to look down the road 20, 30 years, and a lot of people think, that's just $25. What is that going to do? Well, you're 21 and you're going to work until you're 60. Everyone's different, but 67 is point of retirement age. Multiply that $25 times 12 times, 30 or 40 years.
That. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't take that much.
Well, and I see, it's not like it. I mean, I'm obviously older than you, and it's not like it used to be. You don't have work for companies for years and have retirements.
Exactly.
So I see, like with our kids, and our grandkids, they're going to have to fund their own retirement. Yeah.
Yes.
And so if you can start earlier, it just makes it easier.
Exactly.
Right. So, well, good. Well, I just want to I want to stop for a minute, and I want to do a shout out for Hands on Health Chiropractic. They are an amazing wellness chiropractic clinic here in Brighton, and Dr. Adam Rushford is the owner, and I just love being in their space. He is so high energy and so positive, and just really like you, loves helping people be their best self and well, and they give back so much to the community as well. So we just can't say enough good things about Hands on Health Chiropractic. And they're doing some really cool things, detoxing, that we're going to be talking about in February. So that's exciting too.
Yes, I like the detoxing.
Huh? Yeah.
I like the detoxing.
Yeah, the detoxing.
That out.
So 10 days in February, and we're going to talk about more about that in a couple weeks. So just as a kind of a parting thing, what would you say, if you had one piece of advice that you'd like to give to somebody who's just not sure, they haven't made that decision, or it's like, I just can't afford to do that?
Again, with our non-for-profit piece, they don't need to afford us, with advisory fees not being there. But let us help you take a look. Maybe we can find that money, help you find that money within yourself for you.
For you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I know you make it easy and at no cost. I mean, how could you not?
Right?
Right?
Right.
Right. It's just like, how could you not just at least check it out?
Right. And there's so many times that we go through someone's budget and ask them, questions about every line item, and then ask them the percent they're paying on their credit cards, their mortgage, and all of that, and then recommending they might do something about that. And then they do that, and that gives them so much more money to then save for themselves and pay that debt off possibly earlier, because they've cut down on that interest rate. So just going through the line items, a lot of times we help you find your own money.
Well, and it's like there's so many adages, you have to, what is it? You need different eyes to see something different. Exactly. Or if you want different results, do something different.
Right.
It's like those kinds of things. And what I hear you say is you're just going to give another set of eyes from a different perspective.
Exactly.
And I'm sure that I would say this probably confidently, and from my experience, that 100% of the time you see things that people didn't.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, you do.
So, well, that's great. So, Don Clark at Modern Woodmen, and then we'll put the website, your website, and all of that in the show notes as well.
Perfect.
So, great. Well, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you for having me. I appreciate it.
Want everybody to be financially abundant and prosperous, and
Yes.
the decision is, what do I want to do, not can I afford to do it, right?
Exactly. That's
Right.
exactly it. And especially in retirement. I mean, that's what our goal is, to make sure that your money outlasts you so
Right.
you can enjoy yourself.
But that you enjoy yourself too every day
Yes.
as you're building to
As
that.
you're building that.
Yeah, right.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
So good. Well, thank you.
Thank
It's been my
you.
pleasure having you here.
I appreciate it.
And go out, and what we also like to say is, let's go out and live our good fat life. Right?
Thank you.
Thank you.